Hi and welcome to the Market Alert for Thursday, the 8th of October 2020. So, massive short squeeze reverses Trump tweet losses, bond volatility explodes. And we had the squeeze the shorts and move the market back to the upside. What a surprise. I have a lot more news as well, which I'm going to actually cover at the end of the Market Alert because it's to do with the reset and also the stupidness that continues with the distraction of COVID as well. But I don't want to get into that at the front end. I'm going to deal with that later on, so you can choose to watch or not watch it. But let's have a look at yesterday as the market started to make its way back to the upside. No surprise. As noted in yesterday's Market Alert, we can see prices moving higher from the start. Got a bit of selling there immediately as the market hit the R1, and then prices were slammed back down towards the BRN, but then the buying came in and tried to reverse things. But prices struggling a bit. There's some more selling pressure. Get me teeth in and moving up to the BRN there as well. No surprise whatsoever, because this has been the goal for the last few years, to get the market back to the previous day's high, keep it off the lows, is the goal of the Fed and also the major institutions as well. So now you can see you've got some selling coming in here, huge volume, 90% of the previous bar, less in range and sitting at the high. So a place where profit taking is likely to come into the market. And there you can see the selling then following through. Prices struggling with the 5-bar moving average and further potential weakness as prices move down to the R1. And the R1 is also tied in with the 20-bar moving average there. So at this area you can expect to find some sort of support. And there you see the support coming in as prices then test. You can see it there. There's your test at the R1 level, and then prices reverse and move back to the upside, back to the BRN. And then we get a potential sell signal, and we have an issue with this because we have buying here, which we can see, and also the BRN where prices came off this after driving through, and then you see the buying there moving prices higher. So it's a tricky area from the start that prices could find support. So they come down and they hit the scalp, and I've drawn in this line here which refers back to here. Did this at the time, and then it was a case of, as prices attempted to move lower, I could see they were not really breaking this area, so I moved the stop to break even, just as a matter of protecting the capital. And then prices started to move lower, traded down to the BRN. But as I said earlier in the alert, this is where they managed to drive prices through and salvage and then move higher as well. And you can see the volume building here now at this level as well. And there you can see there we've got an increase in volume, and the market then just sits on the BRN. At this point, I decided to take the profits off the table. However, as we go through the morning, you'll see eventually prices give way. I would have been taken out at break even, but then prices give way, and again you can see how they're brought back at the BRN. But we have got the 200 MA down here, but it took a long time for prices to eventually break. You can see how it kept coming back to the BRN, but eventually worked its way down towards the 200 MA. And here you can see that the volume is greater in this bar than the previous bar, and the range is greater, but prices then find support at this level and move back to the upside there. So that's the morning session. Just come back there slightly. There's the morning session complete. And then the afternoon, we started off with prices trading up to the 200 bar moving average, having broken this mid-morning, and then trading sideways for a while, sitting on the 20 bar moving average. And again, you can see prices, the volume coming into the market at the 20 bar moving average, as prices then start to move back to the upside. We have a look at the 200 MA. We've got some potential weakness there again at this level. Again, you can see the volume is more or less the same in this upthrust. Prices then close back below the 200 MA, back to the 20 bar moving average, close through for a few bars back to the BRN where they test the market, and then from here prices find support and eventually get back above the 200 bar moving average, and then continue to climb once they can get through this resistance here. You can see how they bought in here to drive the market towards this level and back through the 200 bar moving average, and then prices slowly but surely, with the odd potential weakness, grinding its way all the way back towards the R1 there for the afternoon session. Overnight, let's have a look, see where we are in the daily DAX, and we can see that we're above the 20 bar moving average for the first time in a while in the daily chart. We're also back at the 62% retracement as well from this high to this low. This needs to be taken out if prices are to move higher, and 78 is the next upside target at 13,120. Meanwhile, overnight prices are above the DP level and also above the 200 MA, although they're just coming to this level. But importantly, they're also sitting at yesterday's high, which is plain to see in the daily chart. And as I said earlier, they want the market off the lows and they want the market above the previous day's high, which is what they're trying to do at the moment. You can see we've had a few attempts overnight, and drag the chart there. You can see how important it is to keep the market above this level if possible, and above the 200 bar moving average there. So a lot of work to do there. Let's have a quick look at the daily on the Dow as well. It's here somewhere. There it is. So also above the 62, looking towards the 78, and again a lot greener than the DAX. The high over to the left as well. If we have a look at the weekly chart, we are heading towards the all-time highs, and I wouldn't be at all surprised if this is not hit before the election next month. We've got quite a while, we've got at least 3 or 4 weeks yet. Easy to do for the Dow with the number of points it moves each day, but first it needs to take out the high that we see here in order to do this. So there we go. That's the high that will need to be taken out, 29,200, just to round things up a bit there. Meanwhile, news for today, we've got Bailey speaking at 8:25 this morning during the DAX trading session, then the unemployment claims at 1:30. Again, a prediction of another, or a forecast of another 820,000 job losses for the US. I have no idea what we're up to now. It must be getting close to 60 or 70 million of claimant count claims for the US. And things aren't going to improve as we look forward to other news that's coming out. Where to start? Well, let's start with Boris Johnson, shall we? Now, I've been talking about the reset for years. And yeah, I mean, I've been called a conspiracy theorist, I've been called all sorts, and frankly I couldn't give a flying pope, because if you do the research you will find what you're looking for, and eventually you will be right. And I don't say that out of conceit or arrogance. Purely and simply, it's all there in plain sight. It's whether you want to actually find it or not. Now, the World Economic Forum is what is behind, or, well, I wouldn't say behind, that would be a conspiracy theory, let's say. It's not, it's the World Economic Forum that is the problem, because they want to reset, obviously, the financial system. And in order to do that, they've got to destroy it, because people aren't going to agree to somebody resetting something until they have had enough of it. And this is what the COVID thing is being used for, is to grind people down so they'll acquiesce to whatever. And this is why you've got all these ridiculous and absurd rules, which we'll come to in just a moment. But this is terrifying, absolutely terrifying. I'm not going to read this, but I suggest that you read it. But this is the bit that really pricked my ears yesterday when I was watching the UK column news. And this is what Boris said on Monday. He says, "After all we have been through, it isn't enough to go back to normal." And I can't tell you what words that I actually used when I heard this and what I told him to do. I honestly, I find this incredibly disturbing. Very, very disturbing, because we were told at the outset of this in March that we were 2 weeks to flatten the curve. And look where we are now with all of these draconian measures, fines and everything else that's been put in place. It is absolutely terrifying. And it's going to get worse as well going forward, because you've got to create Armageddon to get people to agree to change the actual system. But it's not about just resetting the system. It's about resetting our behaviour the way we are, and also this, social change and economic change. It is absolutely terrifying what's going on, and there's only a few people involved in the World Economic Forum, but it is coming to a place near you very, very soon. 2021, and somebody asked me the other day, why is it 2021? Why not now? Well, the damage hasn't been done yet. You think it has, but it hasn't. And also they need to put in place a digital currency so that your spending can be monitored. Every aspect of your life will be monitored. So you've been warned. I knew there was going to be a reset. I never even for 1 minute had any idea that they would be changing everything. That's why they're shutting down the pubs again. Anywhere where there's any socialisation, social meetings, rock concerts, anything like that, I don't think you're ever going to see that again. Given what they're doing here, they want everybody to work from home, to become insular and kept apart. It is absolutely terrifying what is on the horizon. But as it says here, we can't go back to normal. It just can't go back to normal. I just find that incredible. We have lost too much, thanks to you. History teaches us that things of this magnitude, wars, famine, plagues, events that affect the vast bulk of humanity, as this virus has, they do not just come and go. No, because you want to use it. This can be a trigger for economic and social change. It is. I just find it staggering. Like I say, I would read this if I were you. I was just trying to find the one thing. I can't see it. It's not there. Anyway, I would suggest that you read it. I don't want to go on for hours talking about this. But what Boris said was, as we see here, how to build back better COVID. Now, this is the World Economic Forum, and it's interesting because they've all got the same script. And you can see Boris on Monday talked about this. We got Biden, build back better. It's all slogans, isn't it now? Whatever, I don't know what the NHS things want, or whatever they are. What is it? Wash space and face, or whatever crap it is. Poverty crossroads, build back better. They're all singing from the same song sheet. This is what's going on. The COVID is a diversion, and all of these measures that they're bringing in, this sort of ridiculousness. Let's go to this one first. All of these things that they're bringing in, these measures of masks and everything else, I don't think it's about control. It's about confusion, because the more the people are confused, the more likely they are to acquiesce. It's also a delaying tactic as well, because until there is a digital currency that they can roll out to monitor every aspect of your life and turn that currency off if you don't obey the rules, then until then, these the fear-mongering, the Project Fear, where 99.9% of people actually recover from COVID, will be used and continue to be used. And thanks to the comments the other day, and this one that came up, just absolutely, I thought it was a joke, but this is on Bloomberg. As you can see here, you've got, meanwhile, in France, diners in Paris and Marseille must keep masks on between courses starting Tuesday, part of rules to keep restaurants open in France's maximum virus alert areas. It isn't going to keep them open. It's going to destroy them. That's what it's going to do. And I jokingly said to my wife and others, I said, well, it won't be long before you have to put the mask on in between courses. Well, guess what? Here it is. California Governor Office says to wear mask in between bites at restaurants. Now, again, I mean, you've got to laugh. You've got to retain your sense of humour with this crap, honestly, as we go forward. So I'm going to make a prediction. The UK, within the next couple of weeks now, again, to keep the fear-mongering up and also the confusion, you will have to wear a mask when you leave the house. I can see it coming. You can see exactly where this is going. But don't forget, 2 weeks to flatten the curve is how this started. Social distancing. And yet Sweden have done none of this, and they have absolutely 0 deaths from COVID, which is interesting. So the question is, well, why Sweden? If it's the World Economic Forum, why are Sweden, doing their own thing? Well, Sweden have always done their own thing, frankly, very liberal, but they'll have to toe the line eventually with everything else, whether it's vaccinations or the World Economic Forum on the financial reset. Simple as that. They can, be seen to be doing what they're doing. It gives that impression of democracy before we get the full World Economic Forum and our lives being reset along with the financial system. This has got to stop. This can't go on. This is serious, the way this is going to affect us all. So anyway, let's wait and see. Talking of silly rules, you probably saw what was happening in Scotland as well. You can go into the pub, you can be served drinks up until 6 p.m, I think, but after 6 p.m, Covey knows that he can come out to play at 6 p.m, so he's going to latch himself onto all beer glasses, wine glasses, and then you can't have a drink. Well, I can't wait to see this one working in Glasgow when you've had a skinful. Honestly, you can't make it up, can you? The entertainment value is priceless. But also on a serious note, the absurdity of it all. I knew when they were going to reset it would be bad, but this is just a whole new level. As I've said before, it's the Twilight Zone on steroids. Anyway, I've gone on long enough, but I just wanted to make you aware of what's going on in the background. Like I say, for years I've known they were going to do the reset, but now you can see where it's all coming from. This is centralised. Script from the World Economic Forum, and call me a conspiracy theorist. I haven't got a problem with that at all. I call it conspiracy facts, and that's what you're now seeing. Eventually it always comes out in the mainstream and you get to see it. Okay, that will do it for this one. Hopefully going back to the main theme of things, of course, the trading, that we get some volatility, get past the high, and we see the market continue to move to the upside. Okay, that's it for this one. As ever, thanks for watching. See you in the next.